12th show. We are excited to be back again on another Friday night at 9 o'clock to present to you all another live broadcast of Prophets After Dark. We're going to give a moment for everyone to chime in as we usually do while we take the time to post on our own personal pages. So if you guys would just give us a second, again, like, tag, and share the broadcast.
Okay, let me see. For some reason, it's not coming up. Sharita, it is live on your page, correct?
Yes. Well, actually, I'm posting it right now. I'm posting it right now. It's live now.
Okay, because I was looking for it.
Yeah, it's live
Okay.
now.
Okay, let me.
All right, we're going to turn on some music while everybody gets chimed into us so that we're not listening to stillness. You know how that that moment of silence while we wait on people to come in can be so awkward.
Right.
All right.
Come on. Oh, did broccoli?
What was that?
I was saying Prophet Ralph. I didn't see him on there anymore.
Are you there, Anisha?
Yeah, I saw that. That he may have had a technical issue. Let me check on him.
Anisha, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay.
All right, we're going to give one more minute for people to hop on, and then we're going to get started. You can have it. Yes. Yes, yes. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. We're excited to have you.
I guess I'm gonna go to Anisha's page because I can't see it. It's not coming up. So.
Oh, is that Apostle?
Yeah, I'm still here.
See it on my page?
Yeah, give me a second.
All right, let's see. All right, all right, all right. Thank you all for chiming in once again to Prophets After Dark. We are so grateful once again to have you guys chiming in. Thank you. Like, tag, and share the broadcast. We first want to just invite the presence of the Most High God onto this broadcast. Thank Him again for allowing us to be on again. for our 12th show. Allow him to wake us up this morning, giving us the grace to be able to see, to have eyes to see, to have use of our limbs and our extremities. We just give God glory right now for that, and give him glory for a successful broadcast on tonight. So I'm super excited to. Yes, we want to give honor to Apostle David E. Jackson, and thank him for allowing us to be able to proceed with the broadcast even in his absence, and just praying that all is well as he journeys through his many endeavors. We want to give honor to the leaders of this Apostolic Training Center, Pastor Leticia Douglas, who is our executive director, our deputy director, Pastor John Chambers, our director of operations, Prophetess Chandra Winford, and our operations director, our outreach director, Prophetess Diane John Baptiste. And give God all the glory once again for our leadership and our apostle and overseer of this phenomenal Apostolic Training Center. All right, again, I am Prophetess Sharita. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you for tagging, and sharing the broadcast. And we are in for an exciting niche. Introduce yourself while I text her. And I don't know if she's okay.
Good evening, everybody.
Yes.
You ready?
You can introduce yourself.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm so honored to be back. I think this is like my third time, I think, being on. So honored to be joining you all again. I always love this platform, the conversations, and the real talk that happens that I believe that we don't get to hear often in the church that we're actually having concerning relationships. So I'm honored to be back. Thank you again, Prophetess Sharita, and those of you with the Rock Church who host this platform and for allowing me to be back again.
Am I up?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, this is my first time, and I want to also thank Prophet Sharita for the invite. I really appreciate that, and thank God for my spiritual daughter, Anisha, and to the other gentleman, the prophet. I don't remember his name, but I want to honor him, and to all those who make this possible, and to all of your viewers. I'm really, really excited to see how this is all going to flow. So I'm ready to get started. So God bless.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for agreeing to be on the show. I really loved the idea that you guys have to do a relationship boot camp. And I chimed in hearing your back and forth dialogue. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get with the team, my co-host, and see if we can have you guys on. And so I'm so glad that they agree. And I'm excited to hear these questions, and I'm excited to hear the answers that we are going to be hearing out of you two on tonight. So everyone, please chime in, please ask questions, please be a part of the conversation, because they have a lot to offer, and we are going to go ahead and give you guys the floor. Prophetess Anisha, if you can just go ahead and start off with some of those good, juicy questions that you had for him on your show. And since Prophet Ralph is not with us at the moment, I am going to yield to allowing you to ask those questions, and you guys do a back and forth dialogue on answering it. To be honest with you, is how I want it to flow, and then I'll just kind of hop in as we go.
Okay, well, good stuff. I'm excited. So thank you again, Prophet Sharita, you're on the platform. Those of you don't or not are new to myself and Apostle Isaac Jenkins, who is my spiritual father, we do have relationship dialogue that we talk about. And Apostle Isaac has been married for 20 plus years, is a pastor, is successfully and happily navigating that marriage space. So I always enjoy having him on and just sharing dialogue. So I guess the first question I'll probably jump on with is, Apostle, can you maybe unpack for us? There's a topic that you talk about often, and you call it abusing your singleness. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is, what that means, and how do we do that?
you starting out heavy, huh?
She said she wanted to comment on from us. So I'm like, okay, let me jump right in there.
Well, I guess I better start unpacking then.
Yes, sir.
But great question, and it's very interesting because this kind of came to me when we were doing a broadcast, and it really was a revelation to me at the moment. And both of you will know how this works when you are actually in conversation with someone, but in the background, there's a whole nother conversation going on. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to grasp it and focus on what you were asking me. And I just heard that abusing your singleness. Well, how does that work? Well, we know that being single is not abusive. We know it's not a sin. We know it's not wrong. Matter of fact, being single is one of the most important times of your life, male or female, because you should use that time to really learn about who you are as a person, learn your giftedness, your temperament. You need to learn the things that you need to unpack. And many times people abuse their singleness because when they first get into dating and relationships, after a protracted period of time, they begin to gain soul wounds. They now experience disappointment and rejection and maybe being cheated on, all the things that come with dating and relationships. So after so long, once they go through this so many times, they literally make a covenant with themselves to not really love again or to not trust again. And therefore, even if God brings them the perfect ideal person, but because they are so attached to their covenant with themselves through woundedness, through bad decisions and attractions, because they have not learned to take responsibility for their choices. Many times they play the blame game. It's all the other person's fault. Well, that can't be, because I cannot come into your life without your permission, conscious or subconscious.
Amen.
Or unconscious. So anyway, if you call for me, I'm coming. Yeah, what you do with me, that's up to you. So when they start abusing their singleness is when God has prepared love for them, but they are not healed enough to move forward. They've not done the work. So therefore, when God brings this purpose partner, this soul match, they're so used to being where they have been, they're not in touch and in tune with where they need to go. And they begin to abuse their singleness. So abusing singleness is when God is ready for you to move on, but you're ready to stay.
That is. Your Prophetess Sharita, you want to jump in there?
Oh my gosh. So that was so full and so powerful. I just want to touch back on when God is ready for you to move on and you want to stay. Can you elaborate again on that part?
Yeah, absolutely. So God only gives us a certain amount of time to go through and process anything. Okay. Samuel, you only get so much time to grieve over Saul. Joshua, you only get so much time to grieve over Moses. Children of Israel, you only get so much time to grieve over whoever's died. Yes. So God has a time frame. We have a time frame. Most of the time, our time frame don't match his. We oversuffer. we overattach, and we don't know how, when it's time to move on, we stay stuck in an experience, which really was an experiment.
Yes.
But it was to help us to gain information and to gain confidence that when God really presents us with what we really desire, most of the time we're too damaged to enjoy our desire. Oh my God.
My God. Woo! Oh, I can just shout on that one right there.
That's
Too
good.
damaged
So-
to enjoy our desire.
Mhm.
I'm listening.
So therefore,
You aren't done. I'm listening.
God says, I'm ready. I'm ready for, I'm just going to use Anisha for example. I'm ready to bring Anisha's purpose partner, because there are only certain things she can do on her own. Then there are other things she needs her partner, and he needs her. So therefore, I'm going to bring him into her life. But because she have not done the work, because she's not healed enough to love again, healed enough to trust again, healed enough to open up again, then she's abusing her singleness, because she's not willing to align with God's purpose for her life.
Jesus.
So
you're gonna waste time, because you're gonna still be trying to accomplish what you could only accomplish with this particular purpose partner.
Right. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I had to come with that one.
listen,
Oh, okay. So to our listeners, to our viewers, if that's you, God is looking for us to do what it takes for us to be fully whole, fully healed, fully prepared, so that we're not abusing the privilege that it can be of being single by remaining in a situation, remaining in a relationship that God is ready for you to come out of. And when you get out of that relationship, you're not allowing God to process you and to get you ready and prepared for your purpose partner. You're not ready. You're not allowing him to do what he needs to do with you. You're not allowing him to prime you, to prep you, to refine you, to clean you up. And sometimes we're also abusing that singleness because we're hopping back into a relationship with all of that baggage and all of those issues and all of that brokenness, wondering why we're not successful. We're thinking that we're all together. We're thinking that we got it, that we have it all together. We're thinking that we're ready, and we're actually not. Yep. So I think that's a powerful thing to reveal. A powerful thing to reveal.
So, Apostle, what does it look like? I'm sorry, Prophet Shirley.
Go ahead. Next question is good.
What does it look like for a person to begin the process? Because I love what you're saying in that it really puts the responsibility back on the person. It can be so easy for us to blame everybody as to why something didn't work, but we're always a factor in it as well. So, and looking at our part in it. And so what does it look like for somebody to begin that process of getting prepared for their purpose partner?
Well, again, as me and you always talk about this issue, we have to do the work, and it's going to always come back to the place of responsibility, which means to respond with ability. First of all, we have to be mature enough to understand that we are allowed to make bad choices. We are allowed to get it wrong. It's okay. What we're not allowed to do with our life is to live in it for the rest of our life.
Jesus.
So there must be acknowledgement. I must acknowledge the fact that I have had poor choices. And the probability of those choices is probably because of my raising and things that was missing. And remember, we talked about this the other day. We hadn't really talked about it on packaging, but I guess I can just kind of hit at it. Many times we make choices from things that were missing in our life. So we're attempting unconsciously to get people, things, places, and events to make up to us what somebody else previously didn't give us, which is a weak choice. It puts us already in the relationship. You're weak going in. So we
My
have to make sure we do the work as a single. You have to unpackage all of the people that you have allowed into your life, whatever they left. You have to remove all of the residue. You have to claim your soul back from all who came and stole parts of your soul. Claim all of that back so that you can show up in the real relationship as a whole person.
Yes.
Not fragmented. Not pieces over here, piece of me in Texas, there's a piece of me in Milwaukee, there's another piece in Arkansas. No, I need all of my soul.
Yes.
That's good.
So it's just about really doing the work and again, unpackaging all of the things that I've allowed that has not been productive in my life, that will not allow me to reach my highest potential and be my highest self. So I need to really do that work.
100% fact. 100% fact. And I think the single people out here like, woo, Lord. Especially on the part of number one, introspection. Taking a look at yourself. I have so much to say on that topic, but I'm not even gonna go there. But also, also considering the fact that we'll hop in a relationship and not evaluate. Oh my God, you just hit so much home. You pricked me. I'm, I'm, I'm almost speechless. I think that the questions that Anisha had last week, I was just like, oh my gosh, we have to have our viewers, because most people, come on our show, are looking to hear about relationships. And you guys brought out the realness. And I think sometimes we have a real safe conversation about being married and about being single. And I think everything that you're bringing out is touching on some of those fine details that we need to take care of while we're getting ready for marriage, and when we actually have the opportunity to get in that relationship, thinking about yourself, thinking about your character, thinking about what you're bringing into that relationship, thinking about what you have to offer and what you're bringing to that person. And like you're saying, what void are you trying to get someone else to feel that is supposed to be filled by Jesus? That's what I took from what you just said.
Absolutely.
What void are you trying to fill with someone else that's supposed to be filled by God?
Absolutely.
Trying to feel.
Absolutely. That's good stuff.
Yeah. I was just thinking today, I was even thinking about the concept, and maybe Apostle, you can unpack this a little bit more. I don't think it's anything we necessarily discussed, but in terms of maybe explain to people, because this is what I believe. I believe that relationships are being done wrong because you don't understand the purpose and the reason why God made them. We're doing it in our own strength. And I was given the example of, God made when he built relationships, he had a design in mind. And so we've taken his design and we've added our desire and our disobedience. And then we get frustrated when we've taken our design and our disobedience and we've added it to the structure and the system of which he created it. And we're upset because it's not successful, but we're doing it outside of the structure. So Apostle, maybe you can explain what do you the Bible and maybe even people, what does the Bible say? What is the structure of how should we as singles preparing for marriage do relationships?
That's a really good question, Anisha.
Yes.
That's probably a 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 part question, but but it's a great question because and it's very interesting though. Here we are in 2020 with all the technology that we have. You got dating sites, you got relationship experts, you have all the different books. If you go in any bookstore, Barnes and Nobles, you can go to a Christian bookstore. With all of this information, the further you go back, people's relationships were much more solid than they are today. The reason being is because we have information but not revelation.
Woo. Come on.
My God.
So we got a lot of steps, 6 steps to get your mate, 6 steps to make her never, to make her think about you all day, 10 steps to this, all these steps, but nobody actually knows how to walk out the steps.
Come on, sir.
My
Because
God.
the truth of the matter is that a relationship was never designed to make you happy.
Yes.
That is not. I've been married for 20 years. My assignment, once I learned this, it freed me. My assignment to my wife was not to make her happy. So number one, happiness is a choice.
My God.
That's a choice. So I could buy anything. We could fly to Paris tomorrow and give her a $1 million ring. And before lunch tomorrow, she could be moody, depressed. Why? Because those things can't truly give happiness. Number two, a relationship was never designed. And man, this is so important because so many people do this. So many. It wasn't designed to make you happy, and it wasn't designed to make you whole.
Come on, sir. Come on.
Wasn't designed to make you whole. You're supposed to show up in a relationship already a whole person, a whole unit. I don't have a better half. I have a better whole.
Yeah. Woo.
She's a whole woman.
I gotta write that down.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're in your singleness, the greatest gift a single can give to themselves is their own love.
My God.
Mhm.
Woo.
Because if you have been loving yourself, even if you meet someone that does not know how to love you, you can live out of the overflow of what you gave yourself.
Christ of Nazareth.
So powerful.
Your own love.
That is so powerful.
So when you don't know the purpose of a thing, abuse is inevitable.
Yes. Yes.
You're going to abuse something you don't know the purpose for. So when I don't know that you are help meet, MEET, I'll try to make you MEAT.
Mm.
Woo.
That's good.
And that's what most ego-driven, non-adulting men do. They're looking for meat.
Well, sir.
Look at my face.
Listen. Oh my God, that's so true.
They're looking for meat. So they've never been given the blueprint. So in other words, if I don't have the blueprint of why God designed a woman, number one, it was loneliness that qualified Adam for marriage. That's what qualified him. It wasn't his good looks, wasn't his money, wasn't his physique. It was loneliness. Okay. When God saw that, he said, I can handle a lot of things from him, but that I cannot handle. That is dangerous for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alone didn't mean what most people think alone meant. Alone scripturally meant Adam didn't have anybody to express his purpose with.
My God.
Because he had plenty of stuff around him. He had animals, he had birds, he had trees. He had plenty of things to do. He had an assignment, but he didn't have a purpose partner.
Mm.
Woo.
That's good.
And God said, man is standing alone with nobody to fulfill him.
Jesus.
Come on.
That's beautiful.
So when you come into a relationship already divorced from yourself, you will not be successfully married.
My God.
I know a whole lot of us felt that one in the pit of our stomach.
That's powerful.
Come on now, unfold that one.
Yeah. Divorced from self. You don't know who you are. You have no identity. you're so wrapped up in this man or this woman, you just think this is the ultimate end to life. This is, I'm going to really be happy. Man, it's about to be on and popping. When you don't realize you just invited someone into your life who has so many issues that's going to awaken the beast in you.
Jesus. Right.
And you never ever get in a relationship looking again for someone to make you happy. You just need to go ahead and decide today, I'm going to be happy regardless, come hell, high water, storm, married, no marriage. I'm just going to decide I'm going to be happy.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So I hope I didn't go too far in that, but that's just a little bit of my thinking about that particular subject.
True.
I see there is some questions in the group, Prophetess Sharita, but I do want to ask this question, Apostle, because you mentioned something that I think people, I was married 17 years, so I definitely understand when you said that you don't realize that marriage will actually bring out the beast in you. People think marriage is supposed to just be something that makes you feel good all the time, makes you feel excited, makes you feel all the warm and fuzzies. Apostle, I've asked you this before. Can you tell on this platform, what is the truth about marriage? I mean, is it always going to be fluffy? And why is the beast coming out? If we're with somebody we're in love with, we're happy, where do beasts come from?
I'm sorry. Let me turn this down because hold on. I apologize. Well, number one, the beast has already been given to you when in the environment of your raising. Whoever stayed but went missing. You may have been in a two-parent home, but maybe one was present, one was absent emotionally. There was no tactile contact. It's the things that your parents couldn't give you, but you always wanted. It's the rejection. It's the pain. It's all the things that, see, because most of our adult life is shedding our childhood.
Yeah.
So consequently, when we get with someone, because we're an adult age, but we are a teenager in our soul.
Yeah.
In other words, most of the times we are emotionally immature, psychologically immature, so we still react to life based on our wounds. So that's going to be the very thing that attracts people into our life, though. So we're going to bring someone into our life and attract them. The outer is going to think, you're going to think it's the looks, it's the hair, it's this, it's that. That's all a facade. What's really pulling them into your life is your unhealed self, which is your soul. Your soul is going to attract these people into your life. And before they can become your treasure, they must first become your trigger.
Exactly.
Woo!
See, me and my wife triggered ourselves to treasure.
Oh, that's good.
So what happens is, Anisha and Prophet Sharita and the other prophet, if he's not on, that what happens is when we bring these individuals into our life, after all of the facade is over, because I asked the question, do you have a marriage or do you have a mirage?
Say that again?
Can you hear me?
I think she might be breaking up.
Can you hear me, Anisha?
I can hear you. I think Prophet Sharita, are you breaking up a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe she's lagging.
Yes,
Yeah, I think we're probably going in and out a little bit.
we're all kind of breaking. Yeah, we're all kind of breaking up, but we're gonna continue to proceed.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all going in and out.
Okay.
The Lord is our strength. We're having a good conversation.
Okay. So can you want me to keep going? Should I keep going, Anisha?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I almost forgot the question, but the question was
Yes, sir.
okay, so we're talking about.
Yeah, I can hear every now and
she's
cutting in and out.
It could be because the traffic is picking up on it.
Okay.
Let's pick back up on Am I breaking up?
Just a little bit,
Yeah,
but if you keep talking, we'll eventually hear you.
I think she's frozen. Maybe her signal.
Okay, so it's like a delay. All right. We can move to one of these questions that has been back and forth. You probably lost your train of thought because you were walking real heavy.
That's okay. Go ahead.
And if you guys can all bear with us, we're having like a delayed response where sometimes we're hearing each other and sometimes we're not. But the Lord is our strength, and He is here with us during the with the audio of this broadcast. Amen. Prophetess Pamela says, how many times does the counterfeit come before the real man? And how can we replace the lost whole heart that we invested for years in a past relationship and trust again going into the next? Woo, that's a full and powerful question from the woman of God.
Okay. Now, were those 3 questions, Anisha?
Yeah, sound like about 3 of them. Sound like about 3 of them.
That could be broken down in about 10. Okay, I asked the first one. How many times does the counterfeit come before the real man?
Okay, I mean that's a good question, but I mean I don't think I can really answer that.
Which is,
yeah, I mean, I think the real thing is we got to remove the counterfeit out of us.
My God. Woo! While we attracting the counterfeit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it about us?
Yeah.
What is still lying dormant? What's still in us?
Absolutely.
What's causing the counterfeit to come?
Yeah.
Come on. Because one thing that I've learned, as I grow, so does the kind of man that's attracted to me.
Oh, yeah.
Or I may get different types of men attracted to me, but the kind of man that's going to pursue me heavily is going to be different depending upon where I'm at that particular time in my life. That right there, I can write a check and cash that, take that to the bank, and I'm definitely gonna get some money on how true that has been to me in my life. Where I am is where that man is going to be as well, 9 times out of 10.
And I want to ask. I want to ask something to the lady who asked the question. That's a very good point you made, Prophetess Sharita, because I think it's also healthy for us to do acid tests. Like, go inside and start doing some work, doing some healing work. Like, and I want to answer her. I don't remember what her question. Second question was going to answer that one too. But go internal and do some of that healing work, and then come out. When you come out, start looking at what you're attracting. And that'll let you know where you are relationally. So, Apostle, that was a great point. You're attracting really who you are. You know, so there's a lot of counterfeit. And I'm not saying she's a counterfeit, but there's something there that resonates, right? Because there are certain people, I hear women all the time tell me the type of men they attract. And when I say I don't attract those kind of, they're like, what? But I've done a lot of work. And so that's necessary. We've got to make sure that we're not so much looking at who's coming, more than we are looking at who we are.
That's good. Yes, absolutely.
And who we're accepting when they come. Because there's so many different kind of men coming. But why are we accepting that kind of man? And I don't think that she's meaning this is something she may be going through. She has a family, etc. But this is a good question to ask because a lot of people, why me? Why is this person? Why am I? Why did he come? Why? But a lot of times that why has to be something internal. You know, we'll hop in a relationship with somebody knowing that God has revealed to you they not ready or this is not going to work out, but we'll still go through with that relationship and then turn around and ask why. But you made the decision to accept to be chosen by this person if you're a woman. And sir, you made a decision to choose this woman to be your wife or to be your girlfriend or to engage yourself with her when you knew that she was not equipped with the tools to be your partner. You know, and we'll still ask why. Like, we didn't remember when God revealed to us they had some issues that weren't going to be conducive to being successful with us, but we accepted them anyway because they had the look that we wanted, or they had the profile that we wanted, or they had the personality or the lifestyle that we wanted. We have to remember, you're not going to be where you are when you accept that person forever. You're going to grow. So you have to be accepted by somebody or choose someone that you can grow with, somebody that you can build the kingdom with, somebody that you can walk this thing out with. When you know your purpose, you can't just be choosing somebody that's good for now. And I think a lot of people, and I would say more so men, choose somebody that's good for now, or they choose somebody who's available when they're ready to get married.
That's
you know
good.
what I'm saying? The one that's right there. And then they get with her, and then a year or 2 or 10 down the line, it's like, how in the world did I get in this? What is going on? Well, you are the one. You knew where you were going, especially when you're talking about kingdom people, ambassadors, prophets, apostles. You knew, you could see that that person was not capable of withstanding what you carried, but you chose them anyway.
That's good.
Yeah, you chose them anyway. Let's go to the second part of her. Did you want to expound on that, apostle or prophetess?
I can't put nothing but a period.
I do want to add one thing. Also, because sometimes you can be in a good place, you can be in a good, healthy place, but sometimes you're so focused on what you don't want to attract. And so sometimes when you're focused too much on what you don't want to attract, you end up attracting it by default because your mind is focused. So I don't want this kind of guy. I don't want this kind of guy. I don't want this kind of guy. But your mind doesn't know the difference between saying you don't and you do. All your mind knows is you're playing the same record. So sometimes you could be in a healthy place, but your mind is playing the same record, which is giving your physical experience that access of that type of person. So be mindful. I want to say this to women also. Be comfortable with being fluid in the dating space. Like, you don't have to put so much pressure on who's right, who isn't, why is this not, but just enjoy the experience, enjoy meeting people, enjoy the encounters, enjoy the conversations, enjoy the dates without making it feel like this has to be the one. Because oftentimes it's those feelings that allows that feeling of anxiety, that feeling of pressure that keeps us open to, getting these people that we don't want.
That's good. Amen.
Woo, that was heavy now.
Boy, y'all are rocking and rolling. Let me log out.
What? No.
What did you say, Apostle?
I said, let me log out.
We're gonna log out here in a few minutes, to be quite honest with you, but we definitely want to have you guys back. Let's go to this second part and third part of her question. We'll try to wrap it up because I want to try to get to some more of Prophetess Anissa's questions for you, Apostle, before we let everybody go. She said, and how can we replace the lost whole heart that we invested for years in a past relationship and trust again?
Okay, that's a very good question. She's asking some very, very good questions, by the way, because that's a process. Okay, so anytime we have had our trust betrayed by any person, it don't even have to be quote unquote a man or woman. It can be your mother, your father. It could be a teacher. It could be a niece, a nephew, or uncle, anybody. Anytime our trust is betrayed, we always, again, that hand, it's kind of like this. We go into a relationship open, but every time something happens that wounds us, we start slowly but surely closing. Yes. There's only one reason, really. People may say it was the fornication, it was the adultery, it was this. There's only one reason the Bible gives, really, for divorce. It says the hardness of the heart.
Yes, come on.
And so when the heart is hard, that means that when we started out, I had you in my heart. But when you hurt me, I'll take you outside. And if you never can earn your way back in, we never will have a relationship again.
My God.
Because you have violated the thing that's more important than love. And you won't hear many people teach this, is trust.
Yeah.
I have literally watched people get. I
said, teach it.
Yeah, I have seen people get divorced who loved the person but didn't trust them.
I can get up and run outside and run across I-20 and 285 right here in Atlanta.
See, it's
I
trust.
a couple cartwheels.
And,
Okay.
and trust is not earned. Trust is given.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken away when a person violated. So when she understands that, listen, you got to be responsible for how you trusted deceivers and you had weak discernment. They already was assigned to mess you up, but you couldn't see it. Or you chose to proceed even when they showed you their poison.
Yes.
I know she's maybe frozen, but I'm just going to keep going.
Yes, you keep going.
So, Anisha, it's very important for us to, the number one thing we have to come back to, daughter, is responsibility. I have to take ownership of the decisions that I've made and the things that I have allowed. I have to. If I don't do that, I'm never going to move on. Is she coming back in?
And
I think we lost her.
I don't know. Yeah,
she's gonna have to log back in.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
But anyways, we just having a father-daughter talk. So.
Yes, sir.
So to all the viewing audience, if you still are there, if not, if she's coming back in.
They're still there. I'm looking on the other device.
Okay. There. So here's the deal. I have to be responsible. That's okay. I have to take responsibility for what I allowed. Again, maybe I saw red flags, but I still proceeded. I have to take responsibility for that because something in me told me this guy was not good for me. Something told me this woman was not good for me. But yet that adventurous, that I'm going to be okay, that whatever I convince myself to move forward, that's not that person's fault. That's my fault.
Amen.
And you will never fix what you don't think is your fault.
Woo!
And here's the beauty about responsibility is it moves you out of the place of victim and it keeps you in the place of victim.
Yes.
Like it moves you out of the place of I don't know what to do. I can't figure it out to I have the answer. So sometimes we don't like responsibility. We don't like that word, but it actually is a very empowering word because it now puts you in the driving seat of your decision. And then also the process for your own healing. So responsibility, I love that word. I just think it's such an empowering word.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that.
I'm sorry. I was going to say when Adam, even though Eve fed Adam what she ate, God didn't ask Eve first. What did she do?
Mm-hmm.
He asked the one that he gave the responsibility to.
Jesus, come on.
And then he transferred the responsibility to what God gave him.
Mm-hmm.
And then she transferred the responsibility to Satan. Out of the three, you would think those two would take responsibility. The only one that didn't blame anybody is Satan.
Wow.
Preach. Preach.
But Satan takes ownership for what he does.
Yes,
wow. Wow.
He stands on that thing and he'll hold it up to God like, look.
Yeah.
I did this and how she responded. This is how he responded. This is how your daughter, your son responded. Come on.
My God. Jesus.
And so too many of us go into relationships with fig leaves on. Talk to us. Because what happens with fig leaves is you literally cover your mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't heal them, you cover them.
My goodness.
With good smelling cologne, with a nice car, with a good career, with a Chanel dress or a purse, some nice red bottom shoes, with some nice base, and got your hair all did. But underneath all of that, you wouldn't have ever had a wedding if you would have known about the woundedness.
Right. My Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I gotta post that.
Yeah.
That thing was so deep.
That's
that you
good.
just said. We don't heal them, we cover them up.
Mhm.
Yep.
If you just take a step back and think about how powerful and how true that is, we put a band-aid over it.
Yep.
And what ends up happening is you hop in that relationship, or you get 6 months, 3 months into that marriage, if that.
Mm.
And then slowly but surely that band-aid starts to peel itself
Woo.
off.
Oh
And
my.
that man or that woman is like, wait a minute, now you didn't show me this. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't know you still had issues from when you was 5 years old. I
Oh.
didn't know that you had identity issues. I didn't know you really hadn't accepted Jesus for real.
Come on. Come on.
Come
I
on.
didn't know you didn't really have a walk with God. I didn't know you had this much anger.
Wow.
Jesus.
I didn't know you really didn't like me. Come on.
That's good.
Jesus. That's so good.
Come on, Anisha. What you think about these figs? Cause boy, we got a lot of people out here with these figs on, these fig leaves.
Absolutely. I mean, that's huge. And I think, like you said, there's a lot of people, and I would even say people who are even in marriage.
Or you really didn't even like yourself.
That's good.
Y'all tickling me.
You better go past that. You better go past that figure. You better see that fig.
Listen, but even people in marriage.
Go past all them muscles and that height.
That part.
Go past the charm. Right?
Look, let me sip my tea on that one.
Oh, watch it.
Get past how charming and how
Listen,
they are.
that part.
Yes, that part. Get past
That
all
part.
that. I want to know if I go through something. I want to know if I get sick, you can withstand helping to get me whole again physically.
Absolutely.
I want to know if you're going to be there for me. Can you handle that? That's what I want to know.
Come
I want
on.
to know if you can handle if I suffer a loss of a child. I want to know if you can handle what may happen to me if something happens to my mother or my father. I want to know that you're going to be able to be there for me if I'm not how I was when you met me, because we're going to grow, we're going to evolve, we're going to go through some stuff, and going through those things take you through a process where you're going to be somebody different at times than who you showed up as at the beginning of that relationship. It's not always you have anger or you're dealing with something that you need to heal from. Sometimes life itself, circumstances will bring some hell out of you, will bring something out of you that you did not know were there. Sometimes suffering a loss, that's why a lot of times the loss of a job, suffering loss, those types of things, everybody cannot deal with that the same. Everybody does not heal the same. Everybody does not process those types of situations the same way. So you got to have conversations, and you can talk about it all you want to at the beginning of a relationship. But when you signed up to be with that person and stay with that person through those processes and to support them.
Absolutely.
Through those processes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, sometimes people they will just abandon you. Let that husband lose his job and he ain't bringing that money in. That woman can get so disrespectful. And let that woman get sick and or let her suffer the loss of her mother and go through a real life depression where she can't get up, she can't even cook. You know, she going through a battle for 30 days or for sometimes 6 months. Some people go through that for years when they suffer a loss. Let something like that happen.
Absolutely.
Instead of that man doing what he needs to do, like praying her through, helping her, throwing some oil on his woman, and going to the battlefield for his wife, a lot of times he don't know what to do. You know, he don't know what to do. And that separates a lot of marriages.
It does.
You gotta know how to fight war together.
It does.
That's good. Wow. Man, makes you think, don't it?
Yeah.
If you think that before you hop in a relationship, you need to know what you're getting into.
You do.
You know what you're getting into. You need to know what it means to be to be family. You need to know, what it means to be in a relationship with somebody through thick and thin for real. Not, through thick and thin, oh, you lost a job for a week or two. But what if you can't get hired for 6 months and we don't have no way to pay the bills? Are we gonna give up, or are we gonna go to war against whatever is exalting itself above God in our finances? Are we gonna go we're gonna go to war with each other?
I love it.
That's good.
Yeah, that's the question.
I love
And
it.
I want to add, Prophetess Sharita, because people, I think sometimes we can focus so much on, and I think that's where a lot of the fear comes in. People focus so much on the scary part of marriage, but when we do it well, and it doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but when we do it well, and we understand God's mindset behind it, that you get a covenant partner, that you get someone who gets to walk with you through life, who gets to see some of the most, broken places of you and still love you. And you get to do that for them. You get to encourage them. You get to be their number one cheerleader. When you realize that you get to have somebody who rides for you, like no one else can, because they see you through and through. Marriage is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but we've looked so much at our brokenness and what we don't want to give up and what we don't want to sacrifice, that we don't realize sacrifice is blessing, because the Bible says obedience is better than sacrifice.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in sacrifice, in being obedient, there's a blessing there. The Bible says that he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtaineth favor. He automatically signs up for favor when he gets a wife. That's a good thing. I really want people to shift their mindsets to understand there are benefits to being married and beyond sex, because I know that's what most people think about.
Absolutely.
But if you want to add that, the Bible says the married man is undefiled. So, at the end of the day, there's so many benefits to marriage, but we have to understand what it looks like and the way and how God intended it to be a blessing to our lives and not a curse.
That's good. That is so good.
Real good. And I just want to touch on that for a second, just expounding on the fact that when we're in a relationship and you talk about we find favor when we find one another, and that man finds favor when he finds a wife. I speak on this a lot, and I mean it with every bone in my body, because I can feel it. God is revealing it to me. When you are having sex as a woman, you're giving your body away to a man. You are giving him prizes. You're giving him pieces of yourself that God has downloaded on the inside of you that belong to your husband.
Gotta preach.
Yeah, that's
They
good.
belong to your husband to help him, help him build the kingdom, to help him to grow financially, to help him emotionally, to help comfort him, to help to help him do what he needs to do to take care of the family, to help him with the ministry, to help him with the business, to help him with everything. You're giving away parts of yourself. And a lot of times you get with the wrong man, he suck you dry mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, and you wonder why you were doing so good when you got with him, and then when you walk away from the relationship, you don't have 2 pennies to rub together.
Wow.
Jesus.
Because you got with somebody who you were unequally yoked with, and you got with somebody who was on a drought. They were in a drought. They can be successful and still be in a drought spiritually.
That's
good.
good.
That joker, and now you being sucked dry spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally, because probably before you got with them, you was praying, you was fasting, you had your money right, things were together, and then you got with them, you got sucked dry, because that's what's supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen where you're getting sucked dry, but you're supposed to pull from yourself as a woman. They pull from you. A man sucks from you. People suck from us. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's what the man does. He finds favor in that because God has equipped that woman with tools to help him. And if you with the wrong one,
that's so good.
And you know what, Prophetess Sharita, I love that, because you're so on point. And one of the things I don't think women realize is we come with a help package. Like we come. Like when you're dating a guy or you're in a marriage, And let's say he gives you a business plan. Your mind automatically goes to how you can amp that business times 10, because that's how we're wired. So you're so right. I mean, it's a natural wiring that we have. So you're right. And it's easy for us to give it because most women come with the identity and understanding in their DNA that they're a wife. They may not know how they're moving or what that means, but we come wired to wife. So it's easy for that part of us to be unlocked and give too much. So you're right about that. You hit the nail on all the way on the Apostle, you want to add anything?
Listen, I'm like, got my niece some popcorn. I need like something to drink because you guys are just flowing. I'm enjoying the flow. You know, I'm really enjoying it because women need to hear, especially, and men, but especially women need to hear two powerful women who are articulating the importance of covenant. Okay, because when you give a man who's not your husband your favor, you commit a spiritual felony.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Woo!
Yes, a whole felony, Jesus.
You see, because that part of you can only be mine when I give you me.
That's good, sir.
See, if I'm not willing to give up my last name, you shouldn't be giving me the best part of you.
Come on.
That part.
That part. That's good.
You see, because it's very important, and women they know that. I mean, I don't think it's a woman who don't know the power of that part of herself. That's the ultimate goal, especially an ego-driven man. His ultimate goal is to get sex from you.
Yeah.
Especially if he don't know about love, he don't know about commitment, he's not understand covenant. He's not trying, excuse me, to make you a bride. He's trying to make you a bridge.
Jesus.
Shaking my head.
He just wants something he can come over.
Yeah.
See?
Talk to me now.
So
you know what came to mind? Oh, go ahead, Pastor.
No. Just flow. Go ahead.
What came to mind when you said that was the importance of understanding that a man needs to pay the bride price. The bride price.
Ooh,
I like that.
Now, I don't mean to stop you. That's a book you need to
Yeah.
write. Aisha, she needs to write that book.
Yes.
So that nobody steal that. That
Yes.
is powerful.
That's good. The bride price.
We may do an anthology on that.
I know, right?
Or partnership.
That's good.
I like that.
Bride price.
I'm putting it in the comments.
Bride price. I like that.
Good.
The Bride Price. Oh, that's a book.
That is, yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I need to get me a t-shirt.
To say on that topic. We putting a mark on that one right there.
Yeah.
Let's put that out there.
Yeah, you should.
Bride price. But yeah, he needs to pay the bride price. And I've talked a lot about having that man pay the bride price because a lot of times we sell ourselves short of the bride price and they don't want to pay it no more because they have it all.
Yeah.
You cooking, you rubbing feet, you massaging backs, and I've talked about it on this show where I've been that one. It is what it is. I have been that one. Being all in all to someone, and giving it to the wrong person, and just wanting to be with somebody, wanting companionship, wanting to be married, and giving them every single part of yourself as if they're already your husband. And like you said, you're committing a spiritual felony, and what you're doing is you're receiving bad blood, and not necessarily. Yeah, you're pulling down your covering, and you're exposing yourself. You're exposing yourself to the trauma and the issues that man carries, his warfare, everything, and he hadn't even paid the price for you to even go through that.
Wow.
But I'm saying you cost. God created us. He put breath on the inside of us. We are there to help that man. You are valuable. You are worth something. And you are worthy to not make him. You are worthy to expose to him and to allow God to expose to him by the grace of God that you are worthy and valuable. You are a precious jewel. And if he believes that he has what meets up with the jewel that you are, then he needs to go ahead and pay the price to buy that jewel to put together what makes up his crown at the end of the day. We sell ourselves short.
That's so good.
Powerful.
Yeah.
And
That's
everybody can't afford to pay your bride price. Sometimes it costs way more than what you allow yourself to be sold for. Some people can't afford you. That's unequally yoked. You walking heavy and this person treading lightly, and you marrying them, and you wonder why they want to squish your ambition. When they want to put your fire out every time you open up your mouth. They want to put your fire out. Can't handle what you carry.
You preaching.
Absolutely.
I've had some experiences.
I see.
That's good stuff, Prophetess. I mean, you telling the truth. And I think women have to be okay that if they can't pay it, to walk away. And I think women, we get so attached so easily. And you've got, even when it hurts, because sometimes you got to let go of people and it hurts, but it's hurting for your benefit in the long run, because you're showing God you can be trusted with this post, with the heart he gave you. You can be trusted with the development of the wife he's making in you for your husband. God can't trust you with your husband, every man that comes along, because you don't want to be lonely. You stick it out. You stay with them. But you got to be so comfortable that if you recognize this isn't working, and this person may be a great person, but it's okay to let them go, because I'm willing to be patient, not for the great person, but for the purpose person. So that's good stuff, Prophetess.
Hey.
That's good.
Come on now.
But you know, you said, you quoted the scripture a few minutes ago in the book of Proverbs. He that findeth. It's interesting that that's TH. Because when I first got with my wife, I couldn't awaken the wife in her. I could only awaken the mother in her. Because I showed up as a child.
Wow.
So she would not grant me access to the wife, because he that findeth. See, I had to find the wife in her. But the only thing that I could activate was the mother. So before I could enjoy her as a wife, she actually would be a mom. I know that sounds bad, but it just is what it is. There's a lot of women who attract men that they get to mother.
Yes.
And there are some men can only activate the girlfriend in you. They can never activate the wife. The only person that can activate the wife in you is your purpose, your no, how I want to say that, Paul. How I want to say that. The only person that can activate the wife in you is an Adam that's been asleep, but God wakes him up.
Come on now.
But God can't wake up your Adam when you're sleeping with other folks.
Woo! Let me post some fire now. An alarm.
So it took me, Anisha and Prophetess, it took me quite some time for my wife to actually grant me access to the wife in her. Because I had to go through some changes. She had the stick-to-itiveness. She allowed, and I had to go through some development. But on the onset, we went from cutting the wedding cake to cutting each other.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really understand what we were getting off into. The fact that this person, it ain't like, to be there every day, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, January, February, March, April. I mean, I'm there. Like we're one now.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, a lot of these men don't have the capacity in them,
Right.
for you to feel trustworthy enough for them to feel trust, for you to grant them access to a wife. But here's the thing, though. This is what's really the dichotomy. You won't trust them with the wife in you, but you give them sex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. I totally understand that. He can't make you a bride, but you give him the boat. I mean, I'm sorry.
Good. Good. That's good stuff.
He said, so he that findeth.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a depth to a woman that most men can't swim in the depth of your waters.
Yes.
And because you are that type of woman, you drown them in the process. I'm gone. Anisha, you can take over. I'm done. I'm done.
I mean, that's
Oh
good
my
stuff.
God.
I don't think we need to add nothing else to it. That's good.
Look at me. You drowned them. Boy, how many times have you felt like you drowned that joker?
Listen, okay. Jesus.
My.
That's good
It's
stuff.
heavy for him. You know, something that you touched on that I've heard more often than not lately from a lot of men is this subject of being mothered.
Yeah.
There is a large amount of women out here, because I'm hearing it a lot.
Yeah.
You usually hear about, oh, the woman who not cooking, or oh, the woman who don't want to work, or oh, the woman who this and who that. But I'm hearing a lot about women who are getting in relationships, wanting to become the mother of the man. And I'm hearing this from men. And so we have to take a step back as women. I know I'm not that kind of woman. As everyone who watches this broadcast knows, my mother was a single mom who sent us south every summer to my grandparents. My grandfather was a pastor. They were together to death do them part. They had a 50th anniversary wedding. They had 11 children. They had, you know, he worked on the railroad. Like, they both retired. I mean, you know, going to church almost every day, you know, when I was down there. So I got a chance to see two different types of lifestyles. My mother gave me a great dynamic, and my grandparents gave me a good dynamic every summer. So I learned from two different types of households that have helped me. I could never want to mother a man. I'm unattracted to a man that allows me to just run him. I am not attracted to that. Allow me to be a woman. Allow me to be assertive. Allow me to be who God created me to be without feeling threatened. But do not let me take over. Do not let me take over. I'm not even going to do it. I'm just going to say, let's go our separate ways, because I'm not even attracted to it. But I'm hearing that a lot of women want to run this man, want to tell him what to do, want to get upset if they don't do everything that he wants them to do, and wonder why they cannot have a successful relationship. And I think a lot of us have it twisted too. You're thinking that you're submissive. You're thinking that you're doing good by helping them and giving them all this advice, etc. But if what you are given to that man hasn't been prayed over,
come on,
you haven't prayed about how to talk to him. You prayed about how to minister to him. If God isn't the one leading you, if it's your flesh, most of the time you are going to run him off, and he's going to feel as if you are trying to mother him.
Absolutely.
And I'm hearing it a lot.
Yeah, it's out here.
Hearing it a lot.
Because I said it. You're not my mother.
Yeah,
my mama. They don't want their mom. They already had one.
Yeah. But I was still a wounded boy though. So it was unconscious. The mother in you automatically is attracted to that part. It's not even something that they may try to do, It's just the fact that the energy of the person that they're with activates it.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true. Then you need to get up out of that relationship.
Yes.
Unless y'all married. Now that's a different dynamic. But when you preparing to be married, if a man is bringing out the mother in you because he's triggering that from you, that's a totally different story. But we have some men, and I'm speaking of some that I know, you know, who are good, solid men, who are handling their own, who have their own businesses, who are traveling, who are doing, you know, a lot of different things, who are making moves in life, and getting with women. And one situation in particular, this woman has a lot of money and is doing very well for herself. And typically, these women tend to get with men who don't have a job and who are people that they can kind of run over. And then when they get with someone who may have themselves together because that's what they prefer, they end up resorting back to that man that they can control.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They end up resorting back to that man that they can control. Because sometimes it's true. You can get with a good, solid man, a good, solid relationship, and they can trigger the mother. Listen, anybody can trigger the mother in me. A 90-year-old woman can trigger the mother in me.
Absolutely.
God designed it that way. But in those cases where that's a good, solid man and you just straight up controlling and you want to try to run everything, God's not pleased. But you guys, it is now 10:25. Can you believe?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's your time, right?
Yeah, that's our time.
Yes. It is 10:25 Eastern Standard Time. Because you guys are in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm in Oklahoma.
I'm in Texas.
You're in Texas? Okay, what part of Texas?
Tyler.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, this has been so much fun. I feel like I have been dialoguing with family.
Oh,
yes,
that's
you are family.
Yeah, you family now. It's over.
Yeah.
When is the barbecue?
What was that, Apostle?
When is the barbecue?
Yes, well, I'm so excited about tonight's show, and I give God all of the glory, honor, and dominion for allowing you guys to have space and time last minute to be on the show. I thank him right now for the impartation that a lot of people received as a result of tonight's show. And we just lift him up. We pray that, you know, anyone, whether married or single, that they heard something today that would get them in right standing with God and with themselves as they proceed into their marriage or as they prepare to respect and honor their singleness or their singledom, as we talked about at the beginning of this conversation. And if you guys have any closing thoughts, please share those closing thoughts and let everyone know about your boot camp that you have coming up.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you, Prophetess Rita. I'm so honored. Great dialogue, Apostle. Great dialogue, Prophetess Rita. We have an event, the first that we're doing, the Relationship Boot Camp Masterclass. It's going to be 2 days, September 23rd and 24th, in the evenings, 2 nights, 6:30 p.m., 8:30 p.m. Standard Time. There will be a recording if you can't be there live. We're hoping that you can, because some great content we're going to be sharing. We're offering, it's the launch tonight for only $47 for both days. So if you enjoyed this dialogue, we're going to be talking about healing from soul ties. We're going to be talking about how to choose right, how to date and be whole, how to date and not give away too much. We're going to be talking about what does it look like? What is the man looking for? We're going to be dealing with your relationship IQ. We're also going to get a blueprint, a relationship blueprint that you're going to be. So it's going to be great stuff. I'll put the link in the comments for anybody who's interested to learn more and even to join us. So it's going to be good stuff. It's going to be limited seating. We want it really to be an intimate, setting. We can answer questions and really just unpack some things and really prepare you for a healthy dating and ultimately a covenant partner. Because if that's a desire for you, God has it for you. It's just a matter of you getting whole and getting healed. And so that's what we are excited about offering. And the great thing I think about what Apostle and I are doing is he's my spiritual father, has a beautiful marriage. His wife is one of my absolute favorite people in the world. But he's done marriage successfully for 20 years. And I was married for 17 years. And now I'm in the single space, but I am successfully in this space. And so we both have such a great dynamic to offer, to those who can attend. So I'll put the link below, and those of you who can, please do join us. If you have questions, message me or Apostle. I'm sure we'll be glad to answer any questions. So thank you again. I'm just really honored about the conversations.
Absolutely. Again, Prophet Sharita, thank you so much again. I just love your personality. I love what you're doing. I've never met you in person, but I get to meet you on StreamYard. And to the other gentleman, I guess, he had to go and do whatever he had to, but I really appreciate those who made this space available, and for the future ones. I believe that this won't be the last time, and that we'll end up doing some great things, because I told Anisha, I really believe God's going to use things like this. Just like you see these shows on television, I believe that people are going to put mega bucks into things like this to help people all over the world. And so
Yes.
I'm praying for you, and I believe God is going to do some tremendous things.
Hallelujah.
In your space. And we cover you. And we thank your listening audience and all those that joined in. I know there were many questions we didn't get to answer, but if you be a part of this boot camp, I guarantee you'll get your answer, or you keep following Prophet Sharita and what she's doing. And so keep up the good work. We love you guys, and we speak God's blessings upon you.
Amen.
Yes. Thank you both. Thank you, ambassadors, for listening and tuning in every Friday night at 9 o'clock. We love you guys, and we could not do the show without you. So thank you again. Please come back at 9 p.m. every single Friday. The show has gone on 12 times, and it's only by the grace of God, that we're able to move forward. Mm-hmm. The show is a broadcast of the Rock ATL, the Apostolic Training Center, and it is a baby of the NAIOP School of the Prophets. And we are, just so excited to be able to have a show where we can dialogue and to be real, to be honest, and to be relevant, and have conversations that a lot of people are afraid to talk about, to expose relationships and marriages, etc., for what they are, to talk about how we feel, to talk about some of those feelings that we have on the inside of us, to talk about sex, to talk about mental health, to talk about everything that we go through in relationships. So look out. We are going to have more pastors, more apostles come on. We're going to have comedians. We have a really good lineup for you all for the remainder of the year. And we're looking to do some new, fun, and exciting things with the show. So please stay tuned. Thank you so much, Apostle Isaac, for coming on.
Thank
Your
you.
wisdom and the way you maneuver through those questions, like a scribe, like a sword. We're just grateful and so happy and excited to have you on. And I can't wait to get on this boot camp. I always love Prophetess Anisha, her grace, and the way that God just utilized her to just impart on other people in such a peaceful, serene, but authoritative way. I give God the glory for both of you guys being on tonight. Please come back. I'll be reaching back out to you guys to have part 2 of this dialogue. And I look forward to working with you guys in the future on whatever
Absolutely.
it is that God has. I know that boot camp is going to be booming, and I'm going to be on it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Were you about to say something?
How far are you from Albany? Albany, I think.
Albany, Georgia.
I don't think I'm far.
We'll actually be there. We'll be there next Friday.
Yeah, I remember. I think I texted you. Did I tell you?
Okay.
What time?
That
The
thing's all
service
night.
is at 8 o'clock. So it's from 8 p.m. I'll be coming in on Thursday. Apostle will be coming on Friday, him and his wife. But it's from 8. The service is from 8 to 8. So it's like a 12-hour prayer time. And Apostle's going to be ministering and other key leaders that the pastor's bringing in. But yeah, it's going to be 12 hours of prayer at the Alive Center in Albany, Georgia.
Oh wow, I'm going to try my best to be there. Prophetess Nisha, please remind me. And anybody else, if you're gonna be around the way in Albany, or if you're looking for something to do, come and pray with these two phenomenal men and women of God down in Albany, Georgia. Let's go ahead and let everybody have their Friday night. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love you. We're grateful for you. Have a blessed night. Woo!
Bless you.
Thank you.